my boyfriend and I have finally come to the conclusion that we shouldn't live together anymore. Well, hello guys! It is lovely to see you on this fine afternoon/evening whenever this video is out. So yeah, big life changes that wanted to fill you in on from my side, and
pretty big.
So over the weekend, actually over the past few weeks, my boyfriend and I have finally come to the conclusion that we shouldn't live together anymore, and he has moved out this weekend, just gone. Yay! I think a lot of people are a bit terrified about it, and of course I was at the beginning, but this is something that my partner and I have wanted to do for a long time, and this is a very positive step, and we're not separating, we're still boyfriend and girlfriend, but this is like the next new chapter of our lives together. I didn't really think about it until I went and stayed at Florence's for a week and realised like how nice it was for the independence. Yeah. And that I was worried about coming home because I didn't want to argue with my beautiful boy Thomas anymore, you know?
It's so tricky though. We're all taught that relationships have to sort of go in a kind of chronological order. Like we're
like
supposed...
a format.
Yeah, exactly. Like we're supposed to meet, then we like date for a bit, and then we become boyfriend girlfriend, and then we are boyfriend girlfriend for a bit, and then you move in together, and then you get married, then you have kids, and then you live together happily ever after. But
yeah,
how is that supposed to work for everyone?
It doesn't work for everyone. It's not one size fits all. And like I've never had a one size fits all relationship ever. No. I don't think.
I think the first time,
and especially
the first time you did tell me that you were thinking that he should move out, my immediate reaction was, you're breaking up.
Yeah, because that's what you instantly think of. That's what I thought of, because when I came to that conclusion of he needs to move out, I was thinking like, fuck, is this a breakup? Because I haven't heard of anyone going out for as long as we have, which is coming up 7 years in October, going and living together for so long and then moving separately and it working. Because you only ever hear of breaks as like, oh, well, if you're going through a break, then that, you know, that's it. That's the relationship over. I mean, who knows what the future has to hold, but it doesn't feel like that. This feels like a real positive move for both of us, because lockdown was really fucking tough, and I think it's been really tough for a lot of people. Like, all I'm hearing, it's either make or break. You either are in a relationship because of lockdown, or you've broken up because of lockdown. And like long-term relationships, like almost 10 years, where they've actually just realised they don't want to be together anymore. And so obviously I thought the same thing. I was like, shit, this is a breakup. I don't want to be with him anymore. And it only took talking about it and understanding and working through it with him and with other people to realise like, no, that's not what I want. We don't want to break up. We just want our independence back, and we want the fun dating back and the sex back. And how are we going to do that? You know, like we're going to move away separately.
Yeah, it makes so much sense though, because that's the most exciting part of a relationship. The honeymoon period of a relationship is like not when you live together. It's like the before stage where you're still so in love, you go to each other's houses and you have sex, and the sex is always fun and exciting because you haven't seen each other for a bit, and like you text each other because you miss each other during the week, and like that is the part of the relationship that people end up missing.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to miss each other in so long because of lockdown. You know, we're constantly sleeping together, eating together, working together, having our spare free time together because of lockdown. And I'm not blaming lockdown for this. This has been something that Thomas and I have wanted ever since we moved in together. We didn't really want to move in together. It was like a convenience thing, and we were always like, this is a temporary arrangement, which ended up not being temporary. And then about 2 years ago, when we were going through another rocky patch, because a relationship isn't perfect all the time. Like, let me I can't stress that enough. Thomas and I, yes, we've been together for almost 7 years, but it's not been amazing all the way through. We have had ups and downs and arguments, and not ever once have we ever thought about breaking up. We've seen sex therapists and spoken to people and had time away from each other. And 2 years ago, he was going to move out. You know, we had made that decision back then, but he went freelance with his work, and he didn't want to run the risk with money, financial risk, which was totally fair enough. So we were fine for like a year, but things just slipped back into the same pattern where I am constantly angry with him and constantly finding things to pick at him about and be angry with. And obviously I'm not necessarily angry with him, I'm angry with the situation. I'm frustrated and I don't know where to put that, because I'm not angry to my sister who we live with. I'm not angry to any of my friends. I don't speak to my colleagues like that. The one person in my life who I truly love, I talk to like shit, which is unfair, which is not right. Imagine if we talked to our partners like they were our colleagues, very polite and understanding, and even if they were cunts back, you would still be like, okay, yep, I need to put on my professional hat. We don't do that with our partners.
But I don't think that's right either.
we treat them like shit because they're always going to be there, and they take it well, and they're going to be there tomorrow. And it was like it was a push-pull situation. I always wanted more. I was always fighting for more, and he didn't want more. He ended up, I would say, getting quite like, not complacent, but like more further and further in his shell, and almost depressed to a point where I was just like, why aren't you doing this? And you should be doing that. And like, you need more, and I need more from you. And he was just, the opposite, where it was like, oh, this is too much. And that's not nice for him. I wasn't a very nice person to live with. And we basically grown into two very different people. 6-7 years is a long fucking time. We can't stay the same person.
You change so much when you're in a relationship. I mean, with my last relationship, it was like a almost 5-year thing. Like, the reason it didn't work for us is because we changed into different people. And like, sometimes you can change and you still work together, and sometimes you change and you don't work together.
I felt like in that relationship, like there was so much more exciting stuff I wanted to do, and I was being held back by Thomas because he was happy. And I'm not saying that that's his personality. That might be what I was forcing on him. He felt too scared to move forward because I was always like, you got to do this and you got to do that. And I mean, you've seen our other videos before. We talk about sex a lot. Thomas and I have very, very different sex drives and very different libidos. And yes, at the beginning, through the honeymoon period, we matched each other. Yeah. But then we settled into a pattern that wasn't matching each other. I was masturbating next to him, sleeping most nights and wanting sex and having like a massive hole that has been unfulfilled. And it's hard for us to talk about because it's emasculating for him and makes him feel like less of a man, which is not the case. You're not less of a man because you have a different sex drive. You just have a different sex drive. It's being into like different political parties, for fuck's sake. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. And I mean, the fact that it's a myth that men have a higher libido than women. That's a complete myth. It's just not true. There have been so many people that I have heard where the woman wants more sex in the relationship than the guy. It's just not true. I'm sorry, but it's not true. Men don't want more sex than women, and it makes men feel so emasculated when they don't have a high libido and their partner does, and then that ends up like this huge like downward spiral because they don't feel enough of a man, because there's this really toxic masculinity culture, and it's so toxic for relationships.
Yeah, I mean, we found other ways to be intimate. Like, he would read to me, which was really lovely, or we would end up drinking together, getting on coke together, which is like, not something that should replace sex, but it replaced our intimacy because we would just argue all the other times. Like, I think the only safe space is when we were fucked or when we were like reading. It got to the point where we just weren't having fun anymore, and it wasn't nice to be around each other. And I agree, like, there is this awful toxic masculinity-esque stigma around men that they want to fuck all the time. And I think, being single, yes, men have a high sex drive because it's very like predatory. They can't wait to have sex. They chase a lot. They enjoy the chase and they want to fuck everything that moves. But as soon as you get into a relationship where, this is completely generalizing, where a woman feels finally comfortable to open up and actually be comfortable with someone and to feel pleasure, that's when they want to have sex more, is when they feel really connected with their partner. Rather than like, I think at the moment, like with Thomas and I being non-monogamous, I stopped having sex with other people because I felt like I was leaving him out because he didn't want to have sex with other people. And I didn't want it to be uneven. And so us living in separate houses means that we can do that again and find our mojo again.
I'm so proud of you for making this decision and for like trying to figure out like how your relationship's gonna work for you, and not living by the rules that everyone else has written, but writing your own rules. And I think that's what relationships should be. Your relationship should always be on your terms, on your rules, and it doesn't have to be the same as everyone else's. And that's something that we really need to start learning and adapting to. And I think like this is such a powerful move for your relationship, and I'm really excited for you both, because I feel like already that you're gonna blossom so much in this new structure for your relationship.
Thank you. I feel like whatever happens, this is a positive move.
Yeah.
Whatever happens in the future, you know, either he moves out and we figure out that like this works perfectly for us and we have such a great relationship and do other things, or we realize it's not working for us and we move back in together, or worst case scenario, we realize that actually we do need to break up. The hard part is already done. I really, really hope that whatever happens, like this is just a positive, nice move. It's very amicable. It's really exciting for both of us. We're very much looking forward to the future with this. And just to sort of like get our mojo back. That needs to happen.
Yeah. You'll have to keep us updated on that, Reed.
Oh yeah, always.
Just follow her IGTV series.
I think that's why it ended up being like I was so emotional when I came to that conclusion and really down about it, because I think I was so scared that this was a breakup, because that's what I've been taught, is that you separate, and like even the word separation is when like there's a marriage that doesn't go very well, so they end up separating but they're still married.
Yeah.
Like, that's confusing as it is. And it's like, we're all such different people and we all have completely different relationships. Like, I've never wanted that. I've never wanted the marriage. And like, I say that. Of course, I want the house and the kids. But next year, I'm going to start looking for a house by myself. And if we move in together, then that's cool too. Like, we just got to do what feels right. And very quickly, it felt right. I think there was a week of like uncertainty and shock, because he didn't really see it was coming. But as soon as we spoke about it more, it was like, right, yeah, this makes sense.
It's going to be a massive change for both of you, and it will take a lot of learning and adjusting as well. Like, it's not just going to be smooth sailing, but then again, it might be. It might just click with you both.
It might just be perfect.
Yeah.
The last thing I would have wanted is for us to stay living together and be unhappy and end up him resenting me, or me getting angry at him and feeling like my life was slipping away before my eyes. Like, I feel like at nearly 30, I'm in my goddamn prime. Like, I'm so excited for new things. I want to do crazy shit. And you don't ever want to look back and think, wow, what a waste of time when this could have just been solved.
I think if you did stay living together, you would have ended up breaking up. You would have just got so angry at each other. Like, you needed to end it sooner rather than later, like this way, like end living together, so that you can like actually move on with the relationship,
go to the next level. Like, this is the next level.
This is the next level. And also, like, when you move in together, it doesn't mean that you have to live together forever. Like, it doesn't mean that when you get married, that's the end goal. It doesn't mean when you have kids, that's the end goal. Like, your relationship is evolving every step of your life. Like, you can make changes. You don't have to stay in a relationship that you're unhappy with. You can change your relationship to fit your life, like however it changes. Write your own rules.
I was gonna say, especially now, in that we have come to an age around like your late 20s, early 30s is like the time where you're seeing everybody get married and settle down and think about kids and know what they're doing with life, and that's so much pressure on us when it just doesn't have to be that way. And I just, half the people I look at that are getting married and settling down, I'm like, well, that's not gonna fucking last. Like, why would you do that? That's because I don't like the idea of that convention, that format. And it can work for people. There can be people that like live together, love each other, and it works perfectly for them. But that's not for everyone. Just because our relationship styles are different doesn't mean they're worth any less than each other.
Yeah, 100%.
100%.
100%.
Well, I will just keep updating you with this new life discovery. I am very nervous that my mental health is going to take a hit because of any big change. Like, it can really affect me, even if it's a change that I want. But thank God I've got a therapist, and we're going to work through it. And this needs to happen. You know, I'm so excited for the future.
Everyone,
I feel relief. You know, like I feel like a weight has been lifted off me, and I think Thomas feels the same way.
Yeah, everyone's here. Everyone's supporting you. Everyone's gonna like hold your hand through this. The curious fuckers are gonna hold your hand through this. Everyone's gonna be here for your journey, and we're all for it. We're with you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll let you know what happens. Who knows? I might not even need no hand holding. I'll be like, this is the best thing that
You're like, I'm living my best life, bitches.
Yeah. Like, fuck yeah. So excited. So yeah, if you've liked this video, please like it, subscribe to our channel, and also comment below if you're doing something similar. I forgot to mention that my therapist said a really poignant point where she said that some of the strongest and healthiest couples that she knows have never lived together. You know, they've always lived in two separate houses.
Amazing.
My mum's the same. She was like, I never want to live with anyone again. You know, I want to have a relationship, but never want to and you know, it is so different for people. So yeah, just please, if you have any advice at all, I would love to read them in the comments. And if it's worked for you, if it hasn't worked for you, tell me everything.
Yes. And remember to check out our social media, which is at Come Curious, and our personals, which is at ReadAmberX and at Florence Bark. And also check out our podcast, Fucks Given, so you can hear lots of juicy sex stories, sex experiences from a wide range of guests.
So yeah, we will see you in a couple of days with the next video. Or if you want more content, always check out our Instagram where we put up videos twice a week too.
Twice a week. Yeah, oh my god, we produce so much content at the moment. So.
Yeah, 4 videos a week for you motherfuckers.
Lucky you, curious fuckers.
Yeah, we're just like slowly going crazy.
Too much work.
Love you all so much.
Love you. Bye.